Meet Marley, a border collie who's got more anxiety than a student during finals week. His life is a tight schedule of commands, measured meals, and supervised backyard time, all orchestrated by his loving but overprotective owner, Ilara. Marley is perpetually on guard, waiting for the next bad thing to happen. Then, one day, chaos arrives in a cat carrier. His name is Chewie. He's a scruffy one-eared ginger tabby who's seen it all. Chewie is a hospice foster, FeV positive, with maybe 6 months left to live. He moves with the slow, deliberate confidence of a king. And the first thing he does is walk right up to Marley's water bowl and drink from it. Loudly, Marley can only watch from his bed, letting out a tiny, confused whine. A street cat had just invaded his perfectly controlled world. The days that followed were a quiet storm of disruption. At 3 a.m, Marley would be wide awake, staring at Chewie sleeping soundly on the couch. At mealtime, Chewie would saunter over, steal a single piece of kibble from Marley's bowl, and crunch it with dramatic flair before walking away. When Marley brought his brush-time toy to Ilara, he'd find Chewie sleeping on the brush, stopping the sacred ritual in its tracks. Chewie, this slow-moving, world-weary cat, seemed to watch Marley's anxious routines with a kind of gentle pity. One afternoon, the breakthrough happened. Ilara was on a work call, and Marley was vibrating with pent-up energy, stuck in his designated spot. Chewie, perched on the windowsill, saw a bird outside. He looked at Marley, then at the bird, and made a decision. With a deliberate nudge, he knocked Ilara's pen off the counter. Marley's herding instinct kicked in. He nervously got up, picked up the pen, and brought it back. Chewie then knocked off a notepad. Marley retrieved that too. Finally, Chewie headbutted a tennis ball, rolling it across the floor. Marley stared at it. His tail gave a tiny, hesitant wag. He nudged the ball. It rolled. He nudged it again. It was a game. For the first time, Marley let out a soft woof, not of anxiety, but of play. From that day on, something shifted. In the backyard, Marley used to just patrol the fence. Now, with Chewie's quiet encouragement, he learned to dance with butterflies, his tail wagging in a silly, loose circle. Ilara watched, not with fear, but with wonder. The biggest test came during a thunderstorm. Normally, storms sent Marley into a full-blown panic. But this time, as Marley started pacing and shaking, Chewie hopped down from the couch. He walked right into Marley's path and flopped onto his side, exposing his belly and letting out a purr like a diesel engine. The message was clear. If I'm not scared, you don't have to be. Slowly, Marley lay down, curling his body around the small, purring cat. His shaking stopped. He was learning a new language, comfort. A visit to the vet confirmed that Chewie's time was running out. Dr. Ansari explained that his heart was getting tired. It was a solemn moment, and Marley seemed to understand. The days that followed were golden. They were a shared, comfortable mess. Marley, the anxious herder, now curled around the cat like a living fortress, protecting his fragile friend. They watched birds together from the window, Marley's tail thumping a quiet rhythm to Chewie's chirps. Marley had stopped waiting for disaster. He was too busy living. Then came the night Chewie stopped eating. He was weak. Marley knew. He gently brought Chewie his favorite toy, a crumpled paper ball, and laid it by his head. All night, Marley lay flushed against the little cat, keeping him warm, while Ilara cried softly beside them. Chewie passed away peacefully in his sleep, surrounded by the two souls who had become his entire world. A week later, the backyard was different. A patch of wildflowers grew where Chewie used to sunbathe. As a butterfly fluttered by, Marley hesitated for just a second, a shadow of his old anxiety. But then he looked at Ilara, who gave him a small, tear-streaked smile, and with that, Marley took off in a joyful, loping run, leaping into the air. He wasn't guarding against chaos anymore. He was dancing with it. Chewie, the cat with a 6-month lease on life, had given Marley a lifetime of courage. He taught an anxious dog how to live, how to grieve, and how to keep on living. And as Marley sat calmly beside Ilara, watching the sunrise, you could almost hear the ghost of a purr on the breeze. They were both going to be okay. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by Marley and Chewie's story, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of unlikely friendships.